Now, today, we dismiss the male-female structure of our family with, I don't need a man, or women are too much trouble. And that in itself is divisive. And, you know, I hear your sister saying it all the time, and we do. We say, well, look, personally, I used to say it as well. I didn't have a dad. My dad didn't live with us, and we didn't see my dad, but I'm all right. No, I'm not.
Yeah, but what's the yardstick we use to measure whether we're all right or not?
Exactly. I could be so much better if I did have that influence in my life when I was young. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when a standard comes, it shows how little we actually did have. When I look at how you like go and training with the boys and take the boys training and how they get their stuff ready and how they're so involved in their training, and I look at that and see how much we missed out on. Yeah. You know, credit where credit is due. All praises are due to Allah, isn't it?
All praise is due to Allah. But you know what? I wanted to make mention of when you said men are too much trouble or women are too much trouble. How do we know what too much trouble is? You know, if we're going to judge too much trouble on our level of pain or the level that we can handle, is it any wonder that we're messed up then? It's too much trouble. So how much trouble would be raising a nation then if a man or a woman is too much trouble? How much trouble is it going to be for us to raise a family, community and nation then?
And again, it goes right back to what you said in the beginning. Either we want to do the work or we don't. You know, in building a nation or even breaking a foundation, it takes a lot of manual work. It's a lot of hard work. And even when they went
not automatic, manual. Again, that
word. Even with Australia, when the children in the street in Victorian times, I think it was when the children were just stealing and just behaving so badly on the streets, they shipped them to Australia and
convicts from Britain.
Right.
History.
That's right, and then they had to stay over there for like 5 years, 3 years, 7 years. So really, even though they were breaking ground and building and stuff, they were being more creative, but they weren't causing a disruption in the so-called civilized society. So there was that period where they were removed from society, taught how to become builders, and then come back, and then they had the opportunity to come back again. A lot of them didn't.
That same sequence, brothers and sisters, taken out of the environment to be retrained and then come back again. And this is the sequence that we need to go through. You know, sometimes we go to get our degrees and stuff, but we don't come back.
Yeah.
We get trained in the wider society. We get skills, the nation building skills, but we don't come back.
Yeah. But even in looking at, I don't know whether you look at The Simpsons, The Waltons, The Incredibles, Dallas Dynasty, any of those things, they all have a common thread. And the Bushes, the Clintons, all of them have a common thread of having a family structure. Husband, wife, or mother, father, and children, and everyone taking their place. And that's what's making their families work over, it's not just over today, you know, but we're talking about over generations and how families can move from being criminals, because a lot of them started off as criminals. I was watching Who Do You Think You Are last night with Patsy Kensit.
Okay, explain what that is.
It's a programme about looking at people's genealogy, looking at their family history, seeing where their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents came from. And
history lesson, you know.
That's right.
Personal history lesson.
That's right. And Colin Jackson was excellent. You can maybe you can find that on
online.
Yeah, but anyway, they were dealing with Patsy Kensit, and she cried to find out that her great grandfather was a robber and a thief, and was with the Krays. He was friends with the Krays, and he used to be he was in and out of jail like nothing. She cried. Now her children are going to university. How did that change happen? He invested in his family, in his children. He then went on and done, his children went on and done better. And they were all called James, by the way. Her grandfather, James, went and done better. Her father, James, went and done better. And so they improved throughout the generations. And that's the shift work that we have to do. Each of us, each generation has to make a shift closer to where God wants us to be. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Generational shift.
Right. So now, she wanted to go to university, but she didn't make it. But her sons went to university. Her sons went on to university and had a better opportunity and a better life.
You're talking about having a long-range view and a long-range plan that spans lifetimes.
Right. Because now look, we're talking about functional and dysfunctional, because we can choose which one we want to be, you know. And we may even be dysfunctional for a set amount of time, but the idea in our mind has to be in order for us to do better. Her great-grandfather was a robber and a thief. Her father was a little petty criminal. Her grandfather was a petty criminal. Her father was a walking stick maker. So then they shifted. Do you hear what I'm saying? Now their family line has completely changed. And if we look at it and we project that, and we can transfer that onto ourselves. And if we look at how we can change now, we may be in one place today. The dishes and fussing about whose turn it is to do the dishes.
Make up the
that's
bed.
Not. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
No vision, brothers. We got to move on
perish
from
where
that.
there's no vision,
do you hear
right?
what I'm saying? We've got to move on from those petty little arguments and look at, you know, going through a little bit of discomfort, because Allah God made me and you, the male and the female, as the head of this family. We may have to experience a little bit of discomfort. I may not like him today, brothers and sisters. He may not like me tomorrow. However, we're set on a course in order for us to move our family, our community and our nation into a better place. It's time for us to really look at, study, reflect on and appreciate the different roles and structure within a family. Now, one day we were walking down the road with my mum. My mum is so special, you know. And we were walking down the road with my mum, and she stopped outside a greengrocer's round by Loughborough in Brixton. Anyway, she stopped and she picked up a pear. And she said, this is a pear. And Joseph and Elijah kind of laughed, like, yeah, right, she's coming from Jamaica, she don't know. Yeah, very nice. So then she picked up a different pear, a conference pear. And she said, this is another type of pear. And then she picked up another pear, like a Chinese pear. And she said, this is another type of pear. Then she picked up an avocado. And she said, look, see, this is another type of pear and another type of avocado. And the boys were like, she'd lost their attention. But I was like, wow. Because I was like, look at all these different types of pear. Different colours, different texture, different taste, different style, different country that they're coming from. But they're all one family. They're all from the pear family.
Come on, sister. They all got their different characteristics.
Like, wow. My mother inspired, that was an inspiration. All of them have different characteristics, but they're all from one family. And they're all, if they're moving in accord with their nature, they can all appreciate one another.
And they don't have to try and be one another.
Ah, it was inspirational.
I need to be more conferencey and too avocado-y. More like you. You need to be more like me. You ain't no pear.
Exactly.
What kind of pear are you?
Right.
I've seen a pear like you before.
And that's exactly what she was showing us, that there are different types of pears, or what I took from it is that there are different types of pear. Each of them have a different use. They have a different function. They have a different taste.
Come on,
but
sis.
every single one of them have value, and they're all pear. May Allah bless us, brothers and sisters.
We're a pear too.
To stay within our pears, appreciate Allah God first and one another. As we leave you, as I leave you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Clear. Pear.
Pear.
Powerful pears.
My mum inspired me, you know.
Deep.
Yeah.
The pear.
Yeah. Yeah.
The parents.
Yeah.
The pear. We could do a whole series on that.
Yeah.
You know, on the pear. Oh, you two are a pair, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.